I am Mo Tuzano, the tabletop bellhop, your cardboard concierge, working with you to make your game nights better. Now, what I hope to do for you tonight is to let you know if you should be interested in this. This is Tesseract, a cooperative dice manipulation, dice drafting, dice control, puzzly cooperative game from Smirk and Dagger. One of the most collaborative puzzly co-op games ever is the quote. This is by James Fernhaber, and again comes from Smirk and Dagger Games, who we do have to thank for giving us a review copy. Technically, this might be, is this Smirk and Laughter? No, it's actually Smirk and Dagger. Smirk and Dagger and Smirk and Laughter are the same company. This is a very eye-catching game. I have been curious about this game since first seeing it during con season in 2024, and then actually getting to see a demo of it at Origins Game Fair also in 2024, because a big feature of this game is the Tesseract the Cube, which is made of dice. And it actually has like a cool Lazy Susan. Like, this is a game with table presence. Now, it's a cooperative game where you're trying to draft the numbers from the various symbols. Like, they're not numbers on the dice, they're symbols, but the symbols are based on the numbers on the dice. Like, there's 6 different symbols, and you're trying to draft enough before the Tesseract implodes on itself. So this basically says the background for this game. The Tesseract appeared in our skies 6 days ago over the exact magnetic north of the planet. It was the size of a city block. Since that time, it's been condensing, collapsing upon itself. It can now fit into the palm of your hand. Together, our world's best minds will either find a way to contain and control the reactions of this alien artifact, or its exponentially increasing destructive power will remove our planet from existence, reconfiguring our space-time to the extra-dimensional needs of its creator. Are we intelligent enough to shut down the Tesseract, or is humankind simply a blip in the grand scheme of the universe? Time will tell. So yes, you end up with a cube of 64 dice that represents the Tesseract, and you're going to try to disarm it by taking cubes off it, adjusting their values, and transferring them between labs and doing all this funky stuff. Now, fair disclosure here, we did a demo. I don't know this game very well. Do not take anything I'm saying while unboxing this as a teach or how to play. I may get things wrong, mix up what a component's for. The goal of this tonight, though, is to show off the awesome component quality, to show you what you get, to show off the physicalness, the physicality of Tesseract, and show you what you get in the box. So enough about that. Let's cut the shrink on this box and get right to it. All right, here we have my copy of Tesseract. We're going to quickly show off the sides for those who care about such things. And the back. And then we're just going to get to it. We have rules, the same size as the box. 1 to 4 players, 60 minutes. If you do the whole diced thing, you've got a full tutorial there. Got some nice cartoony style artwork on the cover. And it flips out. It's huge and floppy. Not a huge fan of huge and floppy, I gotta admit. I don't feel rule books need to be the size of the box, but that's the thing. This is kind of showing the situation report, what's going on in the various components we are going to find. There is a build the Tesseract thing, which I think I'm going to do because I think I want to show that off. So I might be flipping back to this setup page so we can build the Tesseract to kind of show it off. If you don't like reading rule books, go to Dice. Dice is just free. Here's kind of your layout that you're going to set it up with your various labs you're going to draft your dice into. This would be a 2-player game. Then it tells you how the dice works and how the game plays, and then there's cards you can play, and everyone has special abilities, and it's asymmetric, and then there's all these terrible things that happen once the dice are gone from the Tesseract. It makes things harder. And we are looking at a total of 10 pages. Yes, including the component overview. So really, you're looking at about 8 pages of actual rules, a nice piece of artwork at the end, and a flowchart on the back. Always appreciate it when games give me a how to play in an easy to access place. So here is our Tesseract thing, and I'm going to punch these right now because like I said, I kind of want to build this thing. So we're just going to actually, as we punch these, we're going to yeet the cardboard out of here. We're going to actually build the thing. So this is a nice thick cardboard, 2-sided. You can tell things are punching pretty well, even with like little fiddly bits like putting this together. So we have a stand that's going to go on here, which you can see that pretty well. I don't want to lose this little bit. So a little bit. Get that out of here. I'm going to put that little bit there. A sideboard where you're going to put dice that have been drafted. Again, nice though. Like this could have just been card, and it's two-sided. I don't know if there's a difference. They look, at first look, they look the same. There are multiple difficulties in this game, so you can adjust the difficulty with these plates. Put those off to the side. And again, I don't want to lose these little things. I'm seriously concerned about losing those, so I want to find a spot for those right now. All right, they're going in there. So here's the cool part. Here it is. See that? And then you're going to put one of these on here. I think. I thought that would fit in it instead of on it. All right, I'm a little surprised. And you end up with a Lazy Susan. See, that is pretty cool, eh? And then this is to build the Tesseract on here with all your dice. So that's going to go there. And you're going to dump a bunch of dice in there. Which I can't decide if I want to do it, but I think I do. All right, there's one set of dice. Here's some more. You obviously would probably mix these up a little better. Oh, that works pretty good. Works pretty good. Just shaking it. Trying to find the last couple spots. There's like one spot left. Yeah, that worked. Ready? Oh, let's squeeze it in. So here we go. So, check it out. Tesseract with Lazy Susan. Is that not a very cool board game component? I'm very happy that worked and I was able to show it off. Okay, we're going to get rid of these baggies because I don't think dice are going to get stretched up, and I'm just going to put the dice on there. But we want to kind of show off the dice. So I'm going to take an orange one because I think that'll work well. So you can see it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which each feature their own symbols that feature the number of dots matches the symbol. And that's the same on all of these. So if I grab, say, the purple, they're the same, right? The 3 is a triangle. So there's your dice. They're all going in there. So yes, and then these change the difficulty of the game. This actually says number 1 in the center. And then each of these symbols, it's when they're exposed, they do something. So you can really see, you know what? I wonder if this was supposed to go here. And then the dice on top of that. I'm actually not positive. I probably should have double checked that in the book, but then I put this on the book and I didn't want to try to slide it out. No, it is the tray on top. Okay, so this does go on top of the thing. All right. That was the main thing I wanted to show off, right? And a cool little thing for putting them together. That worked surprisingly well. Let's see what else we get in the box, okay? So we got some cards. We have a very small amount of these little tokens, which I'm going to throw over here. This piece obviously goes in there with these. Fits nice into the box. Drop the pack of cards. These are the individual lab boards. I'm trying to see if there's a quick way to open these. There it is. So this is the breach card that's always in play, and this explains what those symbols on the bottom are. If I remember, yes, there's 2 difficulty levels, right? Depending on when you're on. Some get more difficult, so you've got that. And then we have the various labs, and each player would have their own lab, which summarizes the turn sequence, how it plays, and where you're trying to contain your dice. Because you have to contain the dice. That's the whole point of the game, is to contain all the dice. So that's what those cards look like, which would go here, but these technically go underneath. So what we have here is an ad for a different game. But these are roles. For anyone who's played like Pandemic, you got different researcher roles. And each is asymmetric and has its own ability. Right? So you got the field researcher, the computer programmer, transport engineer, and so on. So various different roles you can try out. These go here. Other games, Night Cage, creepiest game I've ever played, and Spill. And we have little tiny cards, which in the demo I played, we did not see these. And it could just be they kept them out for the symbol for the demo. So this looks like turn thing. Yeah, I don't know. They're color coded. There are lots of different colors. Make 5 adjustments in the primed area. Take a primed cube and place it on this card, and so on. Skip the threat phase. Return 1 primed cube to the Tesseract. So these are all kinds of different abilities. These may be color coded to the reassemble, collaboration, outsource. And in the back, they are also color coded and show numbers 2, 3, 4, and it looks like 1. Again, this is why I said it's not a teach. Everything's going to fit back in here fairly nicely. This one's going to end up flat. These come apart pretty easy. Okay. So one thing to note, you will not be able to put the game back in assembled. You can't put the cube in assembled. The cube has to come apart. There we go. I'm just not going to bother with this at this point. Or these other baggies. We're just going to ditch. What you get with Tesseract. There you go. What you get in the box for Tesseract Smirk and Dagger Games, a cooperative dice drafting puzzle game. Oh, there's where the cards go. Sorry. Cards obviously go on the outside edge. So yes, Tesseract, James Findhaber. Diced instructions if you want them. Really cool physical game with stacks of dice on top of an actual Lazy Susan that comes with the game that you can actually turn around. A rotating turntable, 64 custom dice. It just looks great. And puzzle games are our jam. My family really enjoys puzzle games, so I'm really looking forward to trying out Tesseract from Smirk and Dagger. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully it's one of those cooperative games with no too much quarterbacking or telling someone else what to do. We'll see. When we do play this, though, we will be talking about it. I'll be sharing my thoughts on social media, where I can be found everywhere as Tabletop Bellhop, one word. And we'll eventually probably do up a review of this, which you can find on the Tabletop Bellhop Gaming Podcast, which you can find on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, most places you can get tunes and podcasts. Or you can use your podcatcher of choice and just search for Tabletop Bellhop Gaming Podcast. Once we got the review up, we'll probably put it up on our YouTube and so on. You can find links to all that stuff. Just go to tabletopbellhop.com. Thank you very much for joining me for this unboxing of Tesseract.